Hi, everybody. This is Miranda from Zinni Me, and we get questions all the time from therapists who are using insurance in their practice, and they're trying to find a better way to do it. And one of the recommendations that we make is to outsource your billing. But there's a million questions people have as to how to outsource your billing. What does that even mean? How do you find somebody? So today we are interviewing the fabulous Tiffany. She's one of those people who you outsource your billing to, and you're going to learn some questions you can ask, how outsourcing works, what some of the options are, and of course you'll get to know Tiffany, which is fantastic. So you'll get to know at least one biller that you can outsource your insurance billing to. So Tiffany, tell me about what you do.
Well, we are a third-party billing company and a practice management company, so we do everything except see the patients. So we verify the patient's insurance, we submit the billing, we post payments, do appeals when necessary, but work very closely one-on-one with the patients and the provider so the patients are upfront and know what their care and services are.
Fabulous. So you're saying when somebody calls and they're scheduling their first session and they say, I don't even know how my insurance works, the person, like the therapist, would actually say, hey, you're going to call and talk to Tiffany, my billing manager, and she'll go through all of this information with you, and you'll figure out exactly what their insurance will cover and give them all that information so that everybody's starting on the same page.
Correct. We have an intake form, so we basically do a questionnaire with the patients. We obtain their ID, their phone numbers for their insurances. We explain that we'll call the insurance. We're going to verify whether they need prior authorizations, if they're in it or out of network with the provider they're choosing to see. We write it all out on this form. We call the patient back and give them that information, but we also fax the form back to the provider so they have it in the chart. So if there are ever any questions, they have the date, the time of who we spoke with, and know that we have done our follow-through and due diligence for the patient.
Fantastic. And how did you get into such an exciting field as medical billing?
It fell into my lap when I worked at a pediatrician's office over 16 years ago. So I was going to school for financial accounting, and the office manager needed some assistance with some backlogs and some payment issues. And that's where I took it on and did it hand on hand with the office manager, working with appeals, getting the insurances. And as we started seeing the payments come through, that gratification for doing something for the patient and for the provider was extremely, it just felt great to help both of them. And I felt that this is where I need to be, because I can help the community, I can help the patients, and help the providers with my knowledge and my expertise. So that's why I've been doing it for 16 years, helping physicians of all different types of specialties.
Awesome. I love it. What's your favorite thing about working specifically with mental health providers?
I would say that when a mental health provider works one-on-one with us, we partner and we make a team, so we help the community one patient at a time. So by the provider helping the patients, feeling better and getting to the resolution of their issues or their treatments, and us helping them understand that they can provide the financial aspect and the insurance of the treatments, we can work together. And then the patients understand that they are in great care by having an excellent billing department and an excellent provider to follow them through their treatment.
Well, and I just think it makes for such happier therapists that when there is an issue with appeals or some kind of snafu happens, you're kind of taking care of it.
Yeah, we are their administrative people. So, as they're relieving their administrative time, so they're able to see more patients. And here at Prefer Medical Services, we have the 24/7 customer support. So if it's after hours and they want to talk about a patient or they have a question about a patient, we're available for that. But I also want the provider to know that we are not just a billing company. We look as an extension of their practice. So we don't want to just look at, oh, that's our billing company, how a lot of people look at that. We want them to work one-on-one with us and us to, be a partnership, which is going to benefit the patients.
That's fantastic. And I know your rates are fantastic, like 9%.
Yes,
and
for everything from A to Z.
Yes. 9% for a whole little staff on the side that's 24/7 is pretty awesome.
Yeah, our clients are loving it. We have Google reviews. They're loving that, if it's a Friday night and they have a question or they're seeing a patient on an emergency basis, that they're able to contact me. Sometimes it is an emergency basis, so they do have to go on, the fact that it's an emergency. We don't always have the appropriate time to verify the benefits. But to know that I am a simple call or an email away that this patient is coming in on an emergency basis, This is the insurance. Can you make sure that it's going to be okay? That's what we're there for. Because if the providers don't have that, then they're not able to care for the patients and put the patients first.
Mm-hmm. Ah, awesome. So what are 3 tips you could give to any therapist in private practice about successfully navigating insurance and billing?
I would say the first thing is make sure you know what insurances you are contracted with. So if you have a little cheat sheet next to your phone, so when a patient calls, you know, yes, I accept this insurance. No, I do not accept this insurance. Just because you are not part of that insurance does not mean that Preferred Medical Services cannot help you become part of that network, because we do that so you can expand your clientele base. Definitely check your eligibility prior to every appointment, because benefits can change so quickly. Policies can be canceled. COBRA can expire. So you don't want to come into the problems that happen after the visit. You want to be proactive, and that's where we come in to make sure that the benefits have not changed. There's still no prior authorization. Patient is still okay to be seen. And then the third is when you are seeing a patient and you're billing based on the time that you're spending with the patient, make sure that you stay within that allotted time frame. So if you're billing for 45 minutes, make sure you try to stick to that 45 minutes. Here and there is okay. But those 15 minutes can add up, and that will eat into extra time seeing patients or other time documenting with, you know, the records and making sure the patient understands their treatment and aftercare.
Well, and it could really get in the way of like going to the bathroom or having a snack or
definitely
taking good care of yourself, right?
Yes, you need to take care of yourself and have your drinks and make sure you have that time. But yes, I understand sometimes things overlap. We get that, and patients totally come first, but we do need to make sure we have that little bit of time for us also.
Fantastic. Do you think there's anything else that therapists need to know before they decide to outsource their billing?
I would definitely say look into the billing, talk to them as much as possible, see what you need for billing, because we offer 3 options. Some of them, you know, don't really want the appeals processes or don't want certain things. So make sure the billing companies don't have a la carte items. They don't add things on. Make sure they are U.S. based. A lot of billing companies will outsource the provider's information to overseas without letting the provider know. We are strictly U.S. based. We will never outsource. We don't believe in that outsourcing, obviously, to overseas. So make sure you do your due diligence in talking to them and asking them up front about that. Make sure that the rates follow through with what you need, and make sure they're going to give you that 24/7 or that customer support that you want. Like I said, our clients have my email, they have my cell phone, so they're able to contact me at all times. A lot of billing companies are 9 to 5, so you want to make sure that those hours are going to work with your hours.
Right? So many therapists do work after hours or work weekends, which we don't recommend unless you really love working weekends. But it's really important to have people who are available when you are. And I think the other piece that I would say is that I think one of the biggest reasons to outsource your billing is so that someone else can mess with the appeals and when there is some kind of an issue. Just having one problematic case, you can spend 6 to 10 hours on the telephone for one funky situation that comes up, and having someone else to take care of that when it does happen, even if it's just once a year, it's worth that extra 3%.
Yeah, and you know what we do is as soon as we get a denial, we let the provider know that we have a denial. These are the steps we're going to take. We keep them informed of when we've called the insurance, when the appeal's been made. So we try to keep them involved as much as possible without them having to do any legwork for it, so that they're fully aware and they're okay, she's handled it, we're okay, we can move forward. Just an FYI, future reference, maybe not see this patient until it gets resolved unless it's an emergency.
Right? Awesome. And then just out of curiosity, are you taking any new clients? And if so, how many?
We're hoping to expand our mental health department and accept 6 to 10 new practices by the end of the year, depending on the size of the practices. They can vary because we understand that they work after hours, so we want to make sure that we don't take on too many, that they can't get that 24/7 quality customer service that we offer to every one of our clients. So whoever's interested should jump on soon. Don't want to be the last one.
Right? Tiffany, thank you so much for taking time with us today. This was so helpful, and I just appreciate your energy and how much fun you are to talk to and how willing you were to take some time out of your day to help educate therapists. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.